There's an 85% win rate rule that you can implement right away that can completely change your trading and even get you funded. At least, that's what the Mas 7er, the Mas 7er, the Master is presenting. He's the next YouTuber I'm testing out for you in my quest to find the best strategy on YouTube. Your support has been crazy so far on all of my previous videos. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see all this work being appreciated. I keep on presenting a new strategy every Sunday, so subscribe and like the video if you didn't already to stay up to date with this series. Let's go over this 85% win rate rule, and I'll even show you which indicator to use to make everything simple. But before we start, I found out during my backtesting that there was one thing in common with almost every single one of my losses. So I dare you to find out what it is and tell me in the comments. So we're on Nasdaq, and the first thing we need to do is put up the indicator. So you just need to come here and then write DR IDR. So DR stands for defining range, and IDR stands for implied defining range. Pretty much what it is you take the high and the low from 9:30 to 10:30, but just using this indicator like that, it's also available on TradingView. You can just come up here, and there's a small issue with the time because they're asking it on UTC. So just come here and then put instead 2:30 to 3:30. And if you look here on the chart, you'll see that it will go from 9:30 to 10:30, and then write the high and the low between this range. Also the highest body point and the lowest body point between this range. Now that you have the indicator installed, let's go over the rules. So pretty much what this whole concept is about is, according to Master, he's been studying the charts for a long time, and he said that once we get a 5-minute body close on either side of the range, for example in this side we got it at the bottom, that means that there's an 88% chance that this will be the high of the day. So when we get to the end of the day at around 4 p.m. New York time, there's an 88% chance that this will be the high of the day. But if we had the close on the other side, you understand that there's an 88% chance that the low of this range will be the low of the day at 4 p.m. So what we need to do is we'll wait for a 5-minute body close on either side of this range. So this will give us the framework for a trade. Then we'll find the half point of the range, so I'll show you how to use the Fibonacci tool for that. Then we'll wait for price to come back at least to the halfway point of this range, and then we'll drop on the 1 minute for the entry to have a better risk to reward. We'll wait for a breakout structure, fair value gap. As always, you can choose whatever entry setup you want to use, and then we'll just go simply for a 1 to 2, but you're very open to try different risk to reward or different take profit strategies. So now I'll be showing you all the examples I was able to find during this month. Let's go over them quickly. So we have the range right there, and we just got a close above. So this means that there's a high probability that the low of the day will be this low right there. So now I'm just going to put my fib just like that to find the 50% level of this range, right? But you can also choose to always take your trades at around 62, 70 or 79. What I'm seeing here is we also have a fair value gap on the 5-minute that you can use on top of that, but this is not what we're doing here. Now I'll simply just drop on the 1 minute and wait for the price to come back. There's one thing I kind of hate on this strategy, and it's the fact that we don't put too much effort on the execution time of the trades. So as long as we before 4 p.m. and then we come back to the 50 fib, I'll just take the trade. So I don't take into consideration the different trading session, but that's maybe something to keep in mind for your own trades. So I need to wait for price to reach at least the 50 fib right there. Alright, so we just reached the level. We even went for the 62, which is exactly at the fair value gap. We eventually went for the 70 also and had a nice reaction right there. We just got the breakout structure and also the fair value gap. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about this strategy is the time, but you should study that to see if there is an impact on your results, depending on when you take the trade. And this is where a trading journal is perfect for that. And this is what I specialize in. I know the master likes to go break even or reduce risk when he gets to 1% in profit, so you can also include that in your own backtest. And then he went for a take profit. Let's see how far it goes. We eventually went and took out the high. You can even study taking profit at the previous high. So very nice to see the fair value gap. So maybe that's another filter you can add to this strategy. Let's see if we can find another trade. This was during the first week on February 2, so at the very beginning of the month of February. Also, something to keep in mind with this rule is that on days where we have high impact news like NFP, like FOMC, even though this concept can still be valid, the win rate usually decreases. So just make sure you don't trade during those days. This is what we'll also do during this backtest. So we just got a break of the high, so we know this low has a higher probability of not being taken out. So now we can just put the fib and see if we can reach at least the 50 fib. Alright, so we just got to the 50, so let's jump on the 1 minute to see if we can get an entry. We just took out this high and we have this small fair value gap right there. So we can just enter with a 1 to 2. Okay, so we're starting to see some profit right there. We're at 1 hour, so in the master's case, it would reduce risk with this trade. And we eventually went for a stop loss. So we have high impact news, but this is nothing like FOMC, NFP, or Powell's speech. So this shouldn't have too much impact. We just got the break, so you know, I put my fib and I wait for the 50 to get reached. Alright, so we just got to it. Let's jump on the 1 minute to see if we can get an entry. Actually going a little bit higher to the 62. Alright, so we're having a very small fair value gap with a break of structure, so I think I'll just take it. Just look how we're stopping exactly at the 62, so I think this is very significant, so I'm just going to put it with a 1 to 2. You also need to pick up on those hints when you're trading. I guess this comes with experience. And then you take profit, so very, very nice here. So mainly why I was more aggressive on this one is because look at how we got the double tap with a sweep of liquidity right there when we reached the 62 with the fair value gap. Look how far we went, almost a 1 to 5. So it's been 2 trades that are going way farther than a 1 to 2. So I would really suggest studying that in your journal, trying to take profit at different levels. Next trade. So we got our range and we need to make sure that we get a body close on the 5 minutes. So this is not enough for me. And this is what we got right there. So we got a body close at the IDR level. And according to the masters, this is enough to know that there's a higher chance that this will be the high. So now we can put the fib. And then we just reached the 50 right there. So we got the close here and we just reached the 50. Let's jump on the 1 minute now. But we didn't really reach the level yet, so I'm not sure I should take this one. There you go. So we finally went to the 79. Let's see if we can get a break of structure somewhere. Okay, well, we have this small low and I'm seeing here this fair value gap. So we can just put the order, stop loss above, and go for a 1 to 2. I'm seeing all of those fair value gap right there. Maybe you can fill them. So let's see. Almost to take profit right there. Let's see if we can get it. That one's pretty sad, to be honest. We were at 1.8% in profit, so going break even at 1% can actually be a very good idea. Maybe this is the reason why the master is doing it. So I would suggest trying to study that. Next trade. We have a range, let's wait for a break. We just got it, so we can just put the fib. We're getting closer, so let's jump to the 1 minute. Alright, nice fair value gap right there. We have a nice fair value gap here, but we don't have a break of structure. So I cannot really use it. But since it's so significant, as soon as we take out this low, I would be open to take a trade. Especially since we're getting to the end of the month, we're on the March 1st, so this is the last week of backtesting. So I would like to get some more trades in. Alright, so I think I'll be just using this fair value gap because we closed below all of those lows. When we took it out right there, we're starting to see a shift. And because this is the end of the month, I'll just take it, like we need more data. I only took 4 trades during this month. Just like that. I'll just cover this high just to make sure. And especially because we also have been respecting this entire fair value gap. See how we're not able to close above? So I think this is significant. So nice execution. I like the fact that we didn't close above this fair value gap. I almost to take profit. And there you go. Let's see if I'm able to find maybe another one before the end. But this is Wednesday. I'm only left with Thursday and Friday. Alright, so this is Thursday. Let's see if we can fit up another trade before the end of the backtest. Close above. So we know the low is strong. So we put the fib and we wait. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can break this high. We did not break it yet. Finally, we got a break. So we just took out this high. And also this one. Let's see if we have a fair value gap. No fair value gap yet. So as soon as I see a fair value gap, I'll be using it. Very nice. So once again, we came back, took out this high, and you can see what we have here. So let's just use it. Covering those 2 lows just to make sure. And then a 1 to 2. I like the fact that it's near the last high. Directly to a take profit. So very nice. Let's see if I have something on the last day. If not, I'll just show you the results. If you're able to catch what was the similarity between my 2 losses, tell me in the comments, and I'll give you the answer next week. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you find my work helpful. Other than that, we got a 67 win rate with 6% profit in only 1 month, which is very awesome to be honest. But we of course need more data. But if you didn't like this strategy, I have another 88% win rate strategy presented in this video. So see you there.